I want to talk about why I'm kind of done with CEX, why I don't utilise CEX anymore, and why I don't really do Blu-ray hunts. So let's talk about this. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, so CEX is... I struggle with CEX now, right? Now, it's a difficult one because CEX has a certain worth to me, but only in a very minor way, right? Now, I used to do Blu-ray hunting. Okay, it wasn't on a regular basis like what other channels do, where they're out on a Monday, you know, every Monday without fail, doing a Blu-ray hunt. And if they can't do a Monday, they may do a Tuesday, may do a Wednesday, but they'll generally be out that week and deliver a Blu-ray hunt video with pickups. And this by no means is me knocking channels that do that. It's great. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I watch Kermit's Ghost. I watch, Alan's videos when he does an out and about every Monday. I like to see what's on the shelves, but it's not for me. It's not for me. I don't, and that's not to say that I wouldn't ever do a Blu-ray hunt again. I may get the inkling to do one on occasion if I'm in an area where I've never been before, or if I'm up London or something like that, and just get the urge to do it. But for the most part, yeah, I don't do them. And even CEX itself, going into CEXs, I struggle with it now. I really do. I mean, most recently, I went to Peterborough with Matt and Chris. I don't know when I'm going to be airing this, but as I'm recording it, it was yesterday that I went up there, and we went into the CEX, and there was nothing there. The DVDs are all upstairs, and you got your Blu-rays and your 4Ks downstairs. The 4Ks, seriously, there was, I could count on two hands how many 4Ks they had in store there on the shelf, not counting steelbooks which were behind the counter, but standard 4Ks. Count on both my hands how many they had there. It wasn't many. Blu-rays, very face fronting, so there wasn't a great deal on show, and there was nothing to pick up. I did pick up a DVD from the £1 DVD section. That's it. It was Les Miserables in concert, 10th anniversary. Actually, Matt picked it up for me. Thank you, Matt. But yeah, so, and I'm in there, and I'm just like, oh, this is, and prior to that, I went into Bromley. I'd done a trip into Bromley about a week before that with those guys, and I went into Bromley because I needed some new shirts. I needed to pick up a new chain. Because my last one I gave to my daughter. I needed a new pair of trainers, things like that. And the wife was with me, and while she went off to Costa, because I don't drink Costa, I may have a sip of hers, but I'm not a lover of it. And it's extremely overpriced as well. But anyway, while she had gone to Costa, I said, look, I'm just going to pop into CEX and have a look. I got in there, I started perusing the first Blu-ray shelves, and then I thought to myself, I'm just turn around, walk out. I don't get the urge to go into CEX anymore. But why is this? I think a big part of it is because, there's nothing there for me. There's nothing there. Now, like I said, CEX does have a small worth to me, in that every now and then a film may pop up in my mind, and I think to myself, I want to get that. I want to pick that film up, whether it be DVD, Blu-ray. It doesn't matter, right? That's irrelevant to this conversation. It's and what I'll do is I'll go on to CEX, and I'll have a look if any of the ones in my vicinity that I'm happy to go to. A lot of them now I can't even be bothered to head out to them. I'll see whether it's in stock, and if it's in stock, I'll go to the store and have a look for it, and hopefully I'll pick it up. So there's that tiny worth there. But, you know, I got fed up with the Blu-ray hunting thing because I kind of felt not obliged to be doing it. I didn't feel obliged to be doing it because, you know, sometimes with Blu-ray hunts, I'll deliver 3 in a week because I'd gone to different ones, and then maybe 1 a month. It was very ad hoc kind of a situation. But the biggest thing that I found was that I did actually get caught up in this, you know, picking up for the sake of picking up something cheap, you know, and justifying it because, well, it is less than a cup of coffee. So why not add it to the collection? And then your collection spirals and spirals and spirals. And I remember I was coming back from like CEX back in the day, and Poundland, when you was doing Poundland, and thankfully Poundland don't do them anymore. And, you know, I'd like to have a stack of DVDs or Blu-rays like this. What have I got? A lot of them have still gone unwatched, right? And that in itself led to another problem. And that is where I ended up with multiples of the same movie. Right, because I'd buy a film, I'd say, well, I've not seen this film. Look, it's a couple of quid, it's a quid, whatever, £2, £3. It's less than a cup of coffee. Let's buy it, and I'll get round to watching it sometime. Then I don't get round to watching it, and then I'm back in CEX. I see the film again, having forgotten that I've picked it up prior. The reason I've forgotten that I've picked it up prior is because I haven't watched it. Had I watched it, I'd know that I've got it. And then I pick it up again. I ended up with 3 copies of Black Canary. Is it Black Canary? No, not Black Canary. Black Swan. Black Canary. Black Swan. You know, the Natalie Portman film. I ended up with 3 copies of that. I had 2 copies of Uncle Buck, even though I'd seen Uncle Buck. I hadn't ever watched it on Blu-ray, sorry. DVD was my last watch of that. I had 2 copies of Unknown. Do you know what I mean? An unknown to me that I'd picked him up as a double, and that just started really grating on me and really bothering me, and yeah. Now the Blu-ray hunting side of things, you know, that side of it, I don't know. I stopped enjoying doing it. There was a time when I enjoyed doing it, and then the enjoyment just sort of waned. It waned because I came to the realization that, you know, you're buying for the sake of buying. You're buying for the channel. Even though I used to say, no, you're not buying. I don't buy for the channel. I ain't buying. There is an element of that at play psychologically. Do you know what I mean? Most definitely. And I got fed up with it. I got fed up with this wasting this money kind of situation. So CEXs now, you know, I'm not knocking CEXs or CEX stores, but the problem is that there seems to be no turnaround of stock within. Seriously, I'll go into a CEX that I've not been into for a couple of months, and I'm looking through the shelves, and I'm seeing exactly the same stuff I saw the last time that I came in. I mean, a while ago in Bromley, I traded in, you know, probably about a year ago now, or you know, coming up to a year, I traded in a load of stuff in CEX in Bromley. And no word of a lie, I go in now, and a lot of it is still sat there on the shelves. Yeah, there is no turnaround for the stock in CEX. You know, yeah, you do still get a few little bits traded in, but you don't see much actually leaving the stores, this sort of a thing. And part of that is because of this shrinkage in the marketplace of physical media, because, you know, most people who are collecting physical media now are the sort of diehard collectors. They're the only ones that are really left buying physical media, and a lot of them will keep a hold of everything. They don't want to get rid of anything, and thusly all the people that have wanted to get rid of stuff have pretty much done it already. You know, CEX certainly don't want all of the stuff that's given to them. You know, they don't want the DVDs. This is why a lot of DVDs, they'll only offer you a penny for it, because offering you a penny for it makes you question the worth of actually trading it in, because they don't want them. There are Blu-rays that they will only offer you a penny for, 10 pence for, this sort of a thing, and to make you question the worth of the trading. Why bother trading it in at all when your return on it is something as small as that? Do you know what I mean? It's that's simply what it comes down to. And so now the only people really looking for stuff in CEX are the hardcore sort of collectors that are left, and everything on the shelf is pretty much what they've got. Right now, the shrinkage side of things, yeah. Now, as prices increase on stuff, new releases and this sort of a thing, you're going to lose. You're going to lose people who turn around and say, okay, this is too expensive now. I'm not doing it anymore. And that's what's happening, right? Then these people, they do trade their stuff in. You do get some nice steelbooks pop up in CEX and this sort of a thing. But again, as more and more people trade this stuff in, less and less people want it, because these people are jumping off of the collecting bandwagon. And it's just this self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, in CEX now, you see a lot of them where the DVDs and all the films have been put upstairs. The worst place to go to, the hardest place to get to in a 2-floor CEX store is upstairs. And the reason they're upstairs is because the stuff doesn't shift. In cases like Croydon downsized their CEX store. They literally moved from the shop they were in to 2-3 shops up the road, literally, yeah, not even 20 meters away, to a far smaller premises and only 1 floor. And they gave that space, the space they gave in this new one to DVD is minuscule. It is minuscule. It's probably about 3 meters of shelving, 1, 2, 3 lengths of shelving, and that's it, which is nothing. CEX in Croydon, I remember when Croydon did have an upstairs. You could go upstairs and you could look upstairs. They shut the upstairs off and they brought everything down onto this one level down below, because they shrunk the amount of space given to this stuff, and there's far less in there. But CEX, yeah, it does have a worth, most certainly. I'm not denying that. I'm not knocking those who still do Blu-ray hunting. It's great. Your dedication to it is fantastic. I couldn't dedicate that to it personally. But yeah, just for me, I think that CEX itself, even though a tiny worth for me in those cases where I want a particular thing, I think for the most part I'm done with CEX. They bore me, and going into them does bore me, because I'm just feel like deja vu looking at the same old crap.